Hello, this is Pastor Roland. Today I'm going to continue reading from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, beginning with verse 1. Oh, incidentally, the Bible that I'm using is a good old-fashioned King James. I like the King James. I have many different versions, translations of the Bible, NIV and NASB, Phillips, there's just so many of them, okay? I like them. I read them all. I like the King James. First of all, it's public domain. I like the old language, okay? And it's always kind of there. So if I memorize something in the King James, then it's always going to be, there because it's kind of a perennial. And also I'm reading from this Bible because it's large print. So I can have it propped up right over there, and I can easily read from it, okay, with a large print. Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, verse 1. And they came over the other side of the sea. This was right after they had been on the sea and on the lake, and a big storm came up, and Jesus calmed the waters. Okay, now they're on the other side of the lake, in the country of the Gadarenes. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs, and no man could bind him, no, not with chains, because that he had been so often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him, and the fetters broken in pieces, neither could any man tame him. And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones. But when he saw Jesus far off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice, and said, What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of the Most High God? I adjure thee by God that you torment me not. For he had said unto him, in other words, for Jesus had said unto him, Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And he asked him, and Jesus asked him, What is your name? And the spirit answered, saying, My name is Legion, for we are many. And he besought him much that he would not send him away out of the country. Now there was there nigh unto the mountain a great herd of pigs feeding, and all the devils besought him, saying, Send us into the pigs, that we may enter into them. And forthwith Jesus gave them leave. And the unclean spirits went out and entered into the pigs, and the herd ran violently down a steep place and into the lake. They were about 2,000, and were choked in the water. And they that fed the swine fled, and told it in the city and in the country. And they went out to see what it was that was done. And they came to Jesus, and see him that was possessed by the devil, and had the legion, sitting and clothed in his right mind, and they were afraid. So here come all the people running. Okay, and there's Jesus, and there's the guy who had been acting crazy for a long time, breaking chains and cutting himself, and all of a sudden he's sitting there calmly in his right mind. And they were afraid. The people were afraid. They were, there's too much truth, too much reality for them, okay? And they that saw it told them how it befell to him that was possessed with the devil, and also concerning the pigs. And they began to pray him to depart out of their coasts. The people asked Jesus to leave. It was too much. They couldn't bear it. Too much reality. See, they couldn't bear it. And when he was come into the ship, he that had been possessed with the devil prayed to him that he might be with him. Now the guy who had the demon, now it's gone. So now he's okay now. The demons are gone. And he asked if he could come with Jesus, and Jesus said no, but said to him, Go home to your friends and tell them how great things the Lord has done for you, and has had compassion on you. And he departed and began to publish in Decapolis how great things Jesus had done for him, and all men did marvel. Okay, well, that's a great story. Sounds like a typical possession, doesn't it? Jesus commanded him to leave. The demons didn't want to leave. He said, "What's your name?" They said what their name was. And they didn't want to just go out. They wanted to go into something. They wanted to go into that herd of swine or herd of pigs. And Jesus said, okay. So he commanded them to go into the herd of pigs, and they did. And then the man was okay after that. Okay, great story from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 5, verse 1 to